This episode of Inside Golf Podcast is brought to you by Inside Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Boston Capital Twiddler Steve on the Hold the Green podcast.
All right, we are live. Tapping birdie.
All right, Carson Young is here.
I bet Ludwig at 28.
Let's go. I bet
You
him
do
at,
too?
I bet him at 25.
Low sevens. I think there's some guys in here we like.
Harris English at 7,300.
Why the fuck would I not bet Rory?
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. We have Twiddler Steve back here for the Valspar Championship Best Bet Show on the Hold the Green podcast with Capper and Steve. Steve, solo dadding stressed you out. How you feeling, buddy?
I survived the 96 hours. I will say this. First thing I will say is I appreciate everything my wife does for my kids because there are a lot of things that I realized that daddy doesn't do perfectly right that did not sit well with the kids that only mommy knows. And every dad goes through it where when you got the kids, mom's not there, kids like things a certain way and dad screws it up. So got through it though. They were able to let me watch the players at least, so that was good. But overall, thank you everybody to the patience last couple of weeks, me dealing with some family stuff. That is off the table the rest of the year, hopefully, knock on wood. So you will not be having any shows where you got to scramble for any without me. So it's good to be back here though.
Yeah, happy to have you back. It's a fun tournament. We typically like this tournament, plays hard. And now my mind's in a pretzel with this waves fucking split shit and how important it's going to be. The weather looks good over the weekend. We want to wait for the Supercast on Friday. I'll let you walk us through all of that. I guess what are your initial thoughts on the field, how it's going to play since we didn't have you on Sunday?
Sure. Well, I think the biggest point I want to make is despite the fact that it's really like tight and tree lined, and you would think that you just want to target like really accurate guys and stuff like that. We literally saw Peter Malnati win last year, and he's probably the worst driver on the PGA Tour, other than Nick Dunlap. Yeah, Peter Malnati wins. And if Peter Malnati can win here, literally everybody can kind of win here. We've seen Sam Burns, who's not a very accurate driver, win 2 in a row. Taylor Moore, even, distance, not all that accurate. He won here. So for me off the tee this week, I really did not look much at that really at all. I just think it's a different animal this week. As far as what guys have been doing coming into the tournament, at least I noticed the last couple champions, it's been a lot of peaking with the irons, peaking with the putting. So for example, Sam Burns started to hit the ball really good heading into both Valspars. And, he's obviously just a really good putter, especially on overseed, ends up winning. I remember in 2021, you and I did a show while I was on vacation, and we speculated like, hey, Sam Burns kind of showed a little bit last week. We're like, nah, it's not real. We ended up beating Keegan, breaking our heart on that. Yep. Ends up winning the following year. Taylor Moore started to also show some peak iron play and started to get hot with the putter. He wins. And you know what? Scrappy hitting Peter Malnati, who probably should not have a card, except for the fact he won last year, started to hit his irons really good and started to putt pretty well. So there's also a weird crossover, the Sanderson, for whatever reason. I mean, Sam Burns won there. Peter Malnati's won there. Taylor Moore's been all right there. Cam Young finished like top 5 at Sanderson. It's a really weird comp. So that's been kind of rattling around my brain. But as far as like course conditions go, obviously we'll get to the weather in a little bit. Maybe we'll do that after the tip chart game. So I think that's a good lead into like where we're at with the betting card. But it sounds like it's probably going to play pretty firm. Other than the big rainstorm they had on Sunday, it's been relatively dry. You've had a couple days of sun and wind to dry it out. The rough, this is new this year. It's 4 inches, so it's a little thicker. Last couple years, they've moved the rough a little closer to the green. So it's more of like almost like a Bay Hill type of setup as far as like deep, thick, rough close to the green. You got really firm greens too. And with the weather, at least the first couple of days, I expect it's pretty difficult. Probably maybe open up some scoring towards the weekend. But yeah, I mean, it's, I'm looking for guys basically that are just peaking with their irons, peaking with the putter, maybe some decent short game because of the wind conditions the first couple of days. That's really about it. What about you? You've had about 48 hours of marinade around this. What are you looking at?
I'll be honest. I feel a little lost. Like I feel like, I don't know. Like, is off the tee gonna be more important this year now with the wind, at least for the first 2 days, or it just doesn't fucking matter?
I just think it doesn't matter. It's a different game. I mean, there are some holes where guys, I feel like, can get a little more aggressive off the tee because that's just the nature of the game now. But a lot of it though is there's a lot of just positional layup holes at this golf course, especially some of the more pivotal ones. There's also, I think, another thing to keep in mind as well is it's kind of like Narashino, where the scorecard yardage isn't all that long, but because there are par threes, it plays a lot longer as far as like the long approach shots. I think most of the approach shots are over 175 yards this week. I think about 50% by my recollection. Okay. So I really focus on play over 150 yards, play over 200 yards. Yeah, I mean, it's
long par threes here, right?
A couple of them are longer par threes. Mostly, I think like 175 to like 210-ish. They'll play with the tee box.
That's long in my brain.
Bit. Yeah, so they'll play with the tee box a little bit, but that's one of the reasons why it's a lot longer than what you think. That kind of breeds, okay, ball strikers, golf course, longer approach shots. You get the windy conditions. It's really kind of the name of the game this week. I don't think it's all other than the wind split. That I think is the most difficult to handicap. And then from there, I kind of just pick my guys who are doing, peak in those two categories that I'm looking at this week and go from there.
Good. I need help because I bet one guy before the wind splits, and then I bet 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. One guy, so 3 other fucking losers, and one I don't even have a reasoning for. So that's fun.
You don't have a reason.
I mean, literally no reason. I heard something and I bet him.
Okay. All right. Well, you want to bring on Cam for the tip chart?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Cameron.
Hop on in, Cam.
Where are you, bud? Come on, Cam.
Sorry, I had
Cam. Wake up.
I was working on some March Madness stuff, getting
nobody
getting
cares about
going.
March Madness. March Madness sucks. College basketball sucks.
No, we're going to save this talk to the end of the podcast. I got a couple questions for Cam Kerr.
Okay.
And his beloved Aggies at the end.
Do
Maybe
I get to sign off?
I
don't have to listen to basketball talk.
Yeah, maybe you can sign off early. Okay. You have free will. You can do whatever you want.
Fucking hate college basketball. It's the worst.
I know you do. Well, I'll give my take later. All right. So obviously, if you've been listening to the show, you know this game. If you are new to this program, there is the tip chart, golf tips checker on Twitter. It compiles all the most popular outright bets of the week and spits out a nice little neat pie chart. And Capper and I, obviously I'm not on Twitter. Capper is barely on Twitter.
Barely on Twitter.
Uh-oh. So we try and guess who is on the tip chart. Apparently it is a very gross tip chart this week. I would expect it's probably going to be a very random one, considering there are crack addicts who want to bet immediately on Monday. And then there are the folks that waited until the tee times came out. So I think I would be surprised if we get maybe 5 of 8 this week. That's my over-under. 4.5, I think, is the over-under. So, all right. So Cam, how many are on the tip?
There's only 6 this week.
Only 6?
Ooh. Yeah.
All right. So
why did he cut it off at 6?
Probably because of that exact reason.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody know what the fuck they were doing. That's fine. All right.
All right. So the over-under is 3.5 then.
Okay.
So. All right. Capper one last time. He has been killing me at this game because apparently I don't have a pulse on the gambling community. You do. So go first. You have the first crack.
Yeah, we'll go with who I bet first. Corey Connors. He's definitely
Corey Connors is on there. He's the lowest odds at 28-1.
Oh, that's a huge.
That was a
huge
bad.
Hit, Cam. What the fuck, dude?
That was a mess up by me. At number 5.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Wait, he's the lowest one and he's number 5?
Yes.
This is disgusting then.
Oh boy.
All right. How about a guy who played pretty good last week who's a ball striker? Probably the crackheads who wanted to bet him before they found out he was in the PM wave. How about Lucas Glover?
Lucas
Right,
Glover's
fella.
number 2.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Okay. So nobody under 28 to 1. So let me scroll on down. Man, about is Luke Clanton back on the fucking tip chat?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. No
That
Luke
makes me
Clanton.
happy anyway.
All right. Strike one. All right. So it's a gross list. Who's really gross?
Someone that it has to be someone that people know, though. It's gross
I
and,
know.
and that they know is tough.
All right. How about Bud Colley?
Dang, I'm surprised he's not on there. Actually,
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's interesting.
All right. Strike one.
What a
me.
cool. That's a guy who I ended up rooting for on Sunday, like to at least turn it around, especially how bad his front nine was. Cool backstory. I wasn't fully aware of it. I think I knew it and then completely forgot it again. And he's on like the last ditch on his medical, right?
Well, I think he secured his car because of it, though. So I think.
Oh,
I think
nice
he's
because
good
he
for it.
took nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's good the rest of the
like
year.
that
man.
story.
Yeah, honestly, I like that story. He was a really good player. Had the injuries in the accident.
Dude, it sounded like he got fucked up, broken
Yeah.
ribs, punctured lung, all types of shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
He
I
did.
didn't hear this.
yeah. A couple years ago, he was in a really bad car accident.
Oh.
I forget which tournament it was,
He was
but
leaving a tournament, right?
he was either coming to a tournament or leaving a tournament, and he got in a really bad car accident, and just it took a while for him to
Whoa, I didn't hear
get
this.
back. Yeah, I mean, he was a really solid player. Like I remember, I think when we first started doing the show, like Bud Colley was a regular.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Regular
we bet this
dumpster
guy,
dive.
we knock bet this guy, and
Yep.
now it's 2025. He's relevant again. So good for him.
Cool.
All right, strike one for me.
All right, and I got one strike. So let's go. All right, so disgusting, but who people know. Oh, I can't go under 28 to 1. Fuck. I will go with JT Poston.
Number 4.
Let's go.
All right, so we got 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Halfway
we
there.
need one more to go over, Steve. Wait, what do we have? We have 4, 5, and 6. Is that what we have?
You have 2, 4, and 5.
2, 4, and 5. Okay.
Yeah.
1, 3, and 6. All right.
All right. How about how about Kurt Kitayama?
Not on there.
No. All right.
Dave said number 1. You won't get it. So disgusting.
Okay.
Okay. So
Hey, don't. Yeah, we got to be
we won't
careful
give it
about
away.
looking.
Yeah,
at
yeah. He's not gonna tell us. All right. So how about early tea time? Everybody loves him. Rico Hachtui.
No, Rico is
Damn
not. Uncle Rico is not on there.
Okay. Strike 2.
So
God,
it's
this
2 to
ugly.
2.
Is Max McGreevy on there?
No.
All right.
So I got one more strike to get 3.
Yeah.
Hey. Flop lag on Gim maybe. No on Novak. Shank no. Schmidt, no. Because if it's gotta be people know, fuck it. I'll just go with everybody gets cute sometimes. Maybe Matt Wallace.
Nope.
Damn.
We
All
got.
right.
Yeah. This one was gonna be tough. So.
All right. I got one more guess. How about Andrew
Okay.
Putnam?
No.
All right. Fine. All right.
Wait, that was 4
All right, who
strikes.
is it?
What baseball do you play?
All right.
No,
number
I
one,
only
we
need 2
got
strikes. All right,
Davis
whatever.
Riley at 100 to 1.
Oh.
What?
We got my boy Aggie Chandler Phillips at 125. We got Danny Walker at 100 to
Oh
1
my god.
at
Oh,
number 6.
that sucks because I like that story too, man. Like I talked about him on the Sunday night show, and he was really good off the tee too. Why is Davis Riley number 1?
I'm going to guess it's probably because he lost in the playoff a couple years ago. He's been kind of frisky lately. So I understand in a difficult week, maybe people were like, oh, I've kind of seen Davis Riley put up some birdies. He's been good here. Let's go with that.
Was that here where he was fucking like he had that terrible drive? Was it a playoff? I can't remember if it was a playoff or it was in contention. For some reason, I want to say it was in Texas where I'm thinking of Davis
I think it was
Riley going
Colonial.
off the planet.
Colonial's the one you
Okay,
always
so I know.
refer to.
Okay, so yes, all right. See, it's still in there, Steve. It's still in
I'm
there.
probably going to bet the Danny Walker chalk.
Yeah, which also, by the way, Colonial has some weird crossover to this place too. Yeah, like
man, I like Danny Walker,
Burns,
man. It's tough. Man, when you get 3 guys 100+ on the most tip chart, that's not going to end well.
Yeah, that makes me think it's definitely going to be like JT or Fleetwood or something like that.
Yes. Well, no, it'll be JT or somebody out of the bad wave, right? Like the morning wave's not going to win.
Yeah, I think BK had a tweet about JT and the bad wave was going to destroy us all this week.
Fuck that. JT sucks. Fucking pussies.
Okay, so Aggie basketball.
No. Absolutely. Not. You say that to the end.
And yeah,
I give
you guys stick around the entire podcast before we talk about Aggie basketball.
I will be here.
All right. Okay.
Might as well
go sweat your first round, first half under, buddy.
Women's fucking volleyball. Who cares?
All right. A lot of people care, by the way.
I know, but I know. I get it. Listen, and I used to do it too, right? I'd like, and listen, who knows? Maybe I'll have a couple gins tonight and I'll throw some first half unders on for old time's sake. But other than
please
that,
don't.
Like, I won't. I checked to see if Rishi gave anything out tonight, and I think I got on it too late.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this weather. Okay, because that is put.
And not just, and can you break it down? Can you break it down more than just AM good, PM bad?
Well, because I'm actually going to throw the weather up here. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So I know this is not the super forecast. Okay. But this is the best presented for a podcast. We are a visual medium, and this is the best way to show kind of what the first 2 days is like. Okay. And it's really immaterial to what the super forecast is. Okay. So here's the thing. At the beginning of the week, one of those bell curves, those probability curves, it kind of looks like that, where it really peaks a little bit in the middle and then comes back down. Well, the peak at the beginning of the week was literally like midnight between Thursday, Friday. So, okay, that was where this was first started, I think, where, everybody was looking at, all right, PM, AM, everybody playing the AM on Thursday, not a whole lot of wind. PM looks completely fine. What has happened during the week is this little bell curve has kind of shifted a little bit left, where now there's a little bit of ambiguity, a little bit as far as what's going to happen. As far as like who actually is, I think, going to make out pretty good, probably everybody going out first thing on Thursday, because it looks like it's going to be pretty light wind at that point. Comfortable temperatures, not too cold, and they're going to avoid most of the wind. It does seem like on Thursday AM, though, so you're going to have to play in some wind, in some capacity. There's going to be probably 25 mile per hour gusts. It is not what it was at the beginning of the week. So where I still like the AM PM wave is mostly on Friday, where the afternoon looks pretty calm. That's pretty consensus throughout the entire week. The question, though, and where the edge is really going to come is what is it going to do in the morning? That's what I need to look at. That's why I want to see, because
it's cold on Friday too.
Yeah. So it's really cold in the morning. That's in a north wind too. Like that's
going to be freezing.
That's really cold. So if this wind hangs around a little longer during the morning, that is definitely going to solidify the AM PM edge at that point. However, wind is very unpredictable, and we just came off of round 4 at Bay Hill where they said it was 35 mile per hour gusts, and it barely got up to that.
I mean, to be fair, that was like fucking 6 days out when we were planning on that.
No, even that morning it said it was going to be like 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts that morning, and it never came.
Okay.
Like they even said that day on the broadcast, they're like,
they were waiting for it to kick up.
Yeah, everybody was expecting it. It wasn't the 35 mile per hour crazy wind, but it was still going to be relatively significant, enough to
Yeah.
bother these guys. It never came. So
Right.
that could happen. We also have seen situations where
Everything
sometimes
moves
the
up.
wind is a little late coming in,
Mhm.
like a Pebble. Maybe that really gives the Thursday AM a little bit of a break. It could arrive early to just make everything on Thursday just unplayable. Like maybe this Prel curve shifts a little further left, where now it's completely split. So on my betting card this week, when I saw this, I waited for tee times to drop.
Yep.
Because quite frankly, I wanted to make sure if I liked to get 150 to 1, I didn't care if I paid 100 to 1 and paid 0.04 units more, just to make sure he wasn't a bad wave. That's fine with me.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Listen, 150 looks great, but when you break it down in units, not all that expensive. But I am amenable to the idea that maybe it's not so bad on Friday morning, where if I can just get a guy through the weekend, it's going to be pretty scoreable. And maybe he can make a run at that point. And all the PM AM guys are at a big discount at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm amenable to the idea of going that way. And what's great about DFS is you can be very flexible about this to the last minute. Betting, you can't. You got to make some decisions. So I think we're going to talk. So my goal tonight is I'll go over the AM PM guys that I bet, and then some PM AM guys that maybe kind of pique my interest, that if the weather gets a little better, maybe it'll be okay. All right. I'm going to get rid of this screen because I think my bandwidth is awful.
It is.
At this point.
It is.
Okay.
But let me ask you. So we talk about the wind shifting, right? So man, like if it shifts even a little bit later on Friday, then those PM AM guys are really fucked.
Yes, I would say that. Yeah, if it goes more into the
because
morning,
it's 10 to 15 degrees colder, and they're going back out in the wind.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're gonna have to talk for like a minute. I gotta hop out because my bandwidth is terrible.
Fine.
So
That's
I will
fine.
be right back. Talk and maybe Cam and you can
Talk amongst yourselves. Some all
exactly. All right. I will be back in like a minute.
All you young kids who don't understand that, Mike Myers played a great character on SNL, and that's what they would say when she get all the clams, and she would have to take a minute. So yeah, I'm really interested. Like for DFS, I'm not doing anything until I get that super forecast on Friday, because I mean, look, if everybody is going to stack the AM PM, that it normally doesn't turn out well, right? Like if everybody knows the edge, it's not a fucking edge anymore. So you're gonna have to play contrarian and hopefully pick the better guys. I think you got to worry more about like the shit bumps in the PM wave. Might get blown up by the wind, and maybe take a stand on some of the better players, right? Or some of the better players in the irons and the winds that might be able to sustain it, right? And get through on the weekend, and then nice and calm conditions go out and score. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably going to be the way to go, depending on what the super forecast says. As far as like showdown goes, I think everybody's going to play fucking AM guys. So I think I'll probably make like 2 strictly AM lineups, and then 1 mixed, and then 1 completely contrarian, just in case.
Yeah, and actually, I got a comment in the Discord today about pushing back on some of the stuff, saying, oh, well, it seems like somebody in the bad wave, tends to get top 5. I'm like, yeah, I, totally say that. I don't play DFS though. Like I'm speaking from a betting perspective, and you have to make tiebreakers. You can't bet everybody. Like if you want to make a player pool of like 25-30% PM AM just to cover your bases, yeah, I think that's a great strategy for this week. You got to get some leverage at some point, because everybody's going to do that. But with betting, it is what it is at this point. Unfortunately, that's a material tiebreaker.
You're not betting. You're not trying to play a game of leverage. You're just trying to hit the fucking winning bet.
Right. Yeah. It's binary this week. It's a yes, no proposition. Does this guy going to be top 10 or not? Is he going to win or not? So, all right. Do you want to start with the odds board then?
Let's go, baby.
Okay. All right. So we start with tournament favorite, AM Wave, Tommy Fleetwood.
What could go wrong?
Born winner, Mr. Clutch. 10 to 1. Look, I will say this.
Fucking 1. Unreal.
Well, I will say this. considering Xander is just completely lost in the
Broken.
woods at this point.
Yeah, no shit.
And, some of the other guys up at the top of this range are pretty volatile. I mean, Tommy probably is technically the best player in this field and probably warrants being the top odds guy. Yeah, for sure. I mean, just considering his floor, like in my model, he is materially better than everybody else. Like Xander is technically second, but it's because I have a lot of, long-term data.
Yeah.
If I can't just run a short-term model just for Xander, it's got to be for everybody. So, and he is in the AM wave. Is Tommy on your betting card at all this week in any capacity? Like positional matchup? Nothing.
No.
Okay.
I didn't do any matchups yet. I only bet. I bet first round leaders today. I bet a couple top 20s today before the numbers moved, and then just a bunch of loser outrights.
Okay. All right.
But so my decisions for DFS. If he's going to be 30% owned, I mean, that's a different story. So I got to get Tommy exposure somewhere. So my guess is going to be on the betting card.
Okay.
Who are they going to match him up against, though?
Well,
do you see any good matchups?
Let me throw this out for you. Yeah, of course I do.
And so, it could be Travis asked what studs we'll target in the bad waves. We'll talk about them. We will.
Oh,
we'll
sure.
The guys are willing to do it.
Yeah, because I have about half a unit left to spend on my betting card, and it's either going to be one of the top guys who are in the AM wave, or if I sense the weather might not be as bad for PM AM as I think, taking some of the discount on some guys I like and throwing them in there and just seeing what happens. All right. So Fleetwood is paired up against 3 guys this week.
Come on. Give me some decent ones.
Okay. Tommy Fleetwood is a -135 favorite over Justin Thomas at +110.
Ooh, that makes me tingly. That makes me tingly.
Makes you tingly?
Makes me tingly because JT is a fucking gutless loser. He put one round together and everybody thinks he's fucking back. The other 3 rounds still sucked and he's still a fucking house cat. -135 is a lot, though. All right, who else you got?
Okay.
Just a guess.
So
not yet. Not yet. I'll make my decision.
Okay. How about this is a lot. Tommy Fleetwood, and I know this because AM PM split, is a -200 favorite over Corey Connors.
I won't. No fucking chance I touch that. 0 chance.
Okay.
0.
All right. Here's one of 2 guys in the AM wave, a little more apples to apples. Tommy Fleetwood is -150 over Sepp Straka.
Oh shit! I'm taking JT. I trust Straka more than I trust JT. Straka's a dog. JT's got 0 fucking dog.
All right, so JT is in, the bad wave, quote unquote. Yeah. But we've seen JT rise to the occasion.
1 fucking time in the win.
No, that's not necessarily true.
2 times. 2 times. Whatever.
Might be 3.
2 times.
It might be
2
3
times. Fuck JT. That sorry motherfucker put one of the best rounds together on Friday, came back out. Listen, I don't expect anybody to come out and back around that's like that, and go low, but he didn't do shit on Sunday either. Yeah, I'm good with that. I think Dave's got a good point. I think that might actually be good value on Sepp. What's Sepp's plus number there?
+120
against. I wish it was a little deeper. These books are such fucking criminals. They make me pay 140 and they only give me 125 on the other side. I fucking hate them.
Well, they're literally trying to make a profit, buddy, and that's how they.
Yeah, I get it. I just missed the days when it was your local Vinny who would take care of it versus the corporate fucking analytic nerds fucking hitting mathematical buttons and instead of it just makes me mad.
Look, why
they
do you
really
think
are crooks?
Yeah, why do you think I don't do matchups anymore? Like,
I know
these pricing the pricing is sharp, and they pair these guys up really well, a lot better than what they used to. Like, to where you have to make some tough decisions.
I thought we might get some values this week with all the odds makers focusing on March Madness. You know what I mean? Like, I figured, you know how it is. Like during football season on a fall swing event, we can catch them boys sleeping sometimes. But
no,
it doesn't seem like we can anymore.
No, these big, but they're so big and ginormous now. They have so much funding and capital behind it that they have literal devoted teams to this stuff now. Like, you're not catching them napping. All right. So for me, at least, for Fleetwood, I can definitely get behind a top 10 at like +150. That's actually 165, I think, is the best price I see right now for Tommy. Just, he's had a couple close calls here.
What was it? Top what?
Top 10 plus 165
I don't hate it.
for potentially wiping out half the slate.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all, actually.
Yeah, that's not bad. So I could entertain that, but I'm still going with mostly, if I can, fading top of the board at these non-signature events and trying to find value down the card. Although, as I'll talk about, if I was targeting AM PM, it made that very difficult because it was very few guys I kind of liked in this range.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Real quick. So, could be Travis asked a question as far as if there's any more value in 3-ball matchups. And then Michael Manning astutely pointed out, yeah, you have more of a chance to lose to another schmo. That is absolutely correct. I've made Steve not let me bet 3 balls after some disasters earlier this year. It's a very hard drug to get off, especially like when you parlay a bunch of them together, because you look at these fucking things and you're like, there's no way these 2 other bums are going to do anything, right? Like, you're not going to do nothing, and you can parlay them together, and it's good odds. And you at least get a push, right? Because at least in like the 1-round matchups, you got a bet draw, which sucks. Like, I don't want to bet that. At least you can get a push with the 3 balls. I like 3-ball first-round matchups because it's blind and you're just basically going off of information. The books usually adjust correctly for the second round, so there's not a lot of value there. But no, I don't think there's an extra edge at it. You just get a better chance at a push.
Okay. All right. Before we kind of get to the rest of the top of the range here, just quick temperature on Xander, or just no.
Nah, I'm still a no. Like I said, I was definitely early on him 2 weeks ago, right? Like I just tried to get cute. And listen, you figure these guys take so much time off and they're working on it, but it really is. It's game reps, right? It's just like any other sport, right? Like, it doesn't matter how many times you go to the range, how many shots you make around the green. Practicing is completely different. It's a completely different flow, completely different rhythm in tournament, right? So, yeah, and he didn't look right again last week. And I stayed off him last week because I didn't believe it was just around the green. And I think I was right. And I don't see this being a place to get right because it's a difficult course. What's Xander's history here? It's probably not. I don't.
It's actually not terrible. It's not. It's pretty good actually. I don't think he has any top 10s, but it's a lot like top 15 finishes.
I don't know. Jesus Christ, he got top 5 here last year. So much.
Or top 5. Okay, fine. Top 5 here last year, but it's pretty solid. I mean, for a guy like Xander, it would make sense. What I did not like hearing about Xander was he was apparently on a pitch count with the range, and because of his play has decided to blow past that, which is not encouraging. That's not good. Encouraging. No. The fact that he was on a pitch count to be
is it good? That's the more troubling thing. Fucking blowing by it and hurting himself more. The fact that he was on a pitch count means he wasn't healthy to fucking begin with.
Yeah, that's for me. That means no go. And you're not even getting a discount on him this week. Like, he's AM wave 12-1. Like, at the beginning of the week, I think when he fell to like 20. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but even so, like,
yeah, I think
it's a pass for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So did you bet anyone under 30-1 other than Corey Connors?
No, that's it.
Okay. So only Corey Connors. So make the case for Corey Connors that did not include the weather.
Yeah. So, man, he's just playing so fucking good. And I know I call him a fucking loser and he can only win in Texas, but man, so at least on this Sunday, he made some birdies versus at API, where I literally said he was going to par his way in, and he basically fucking did. Man, those irons are just looking so fucking good. And even when he was missing those putts at API, they were burning the edges. They were right there. It wasn't your typical Corey Connors mash it 5 feet by, leave it 3 feet left and short, like just nightmare fuel when you have money on him. It looks like he was finally putting everything together. I wanted to bet him. I don't bet him a lot, so I don't have a ton of scar tissue with him. Man, it's unfortunate that he is in that wave, and then somebody who I don't respect in golf betting at all is all over him. So I cashed out my 25 today already.
Oh no!
Yeah, I cashed it out.
F full cash out?
No, it's like fucking 24 versus 25, whatever. That shit doesn't bother me. Like, it is what it is.
Okay. I don't like hearing that. That's bad juju.
It's not bad juju. I did it. Well, so it almost came back to bite me. Was it a couple weeks ago when I cashed out? Who was that?
I forget.
I was fucking sweating, and he was fucking came in second. I was fucking so mad. Oh, it was pot guider.
Yeah, it was. It was
pot guider. I was so fucking mad. Thanks. Joel, was it? No, it was who the fuck won that? No, it was the mortgage broker guy, not the mortgage broker.
Campbell. No, it wasn't
Campbell.
It was Campbell.
The soup cousin Brian.
Yeah.
I cashed out. I might get back in based on if you can get me in tonight. It's already a better number, so like whatever. It didn't really hurt me.
Okay.
Get back in at it.
All right. So Corey Connors is definitely one of the guys in the PM wave that piques my interest. As far as a guy who's peaking with his irons. Thank you, Cam. I appreciate that.
Look at
a guy who's peaking with his irons, spike irons, and a guy who is most importantly putting very well. That is a good trend for Valspar.
Yeah. Especially for fucking Corey Connors putting well.
I know. Like I was shocked when I ran like because I have my bet source model and then my own Denny spreadsheet. And there's a 35-1 on him right now. And if I get the inkling that PM/AM is not going to be all that bad, I'm betting that. I'm definitely going to that.
I could definitely go back to that. And then what's his actual tee time? It's 2:30. Is that right?
Yeah, which is like the peak of it, the crap.
The peak of, but that's only the first couple of holes. That's actually what I was going to ask you about. So, what are the worst holes to get the worst wind at? Is it going to be in? I don't remember if he goes off 10 or I'll pull it up.
Well, I was talking about this in Discord. We were talking more about
I guess let's not give everything away, right? But just to soothe my mind.
Generally,
134 is when he goes off. Okay. He goes off a 1.
The par fives will play much differently in the wind. If you want the full explanation, please sign up for a premium membership at ISN. But the par fives, I believe the AM wave will be able to score better on them generally than the AM wave will score better on them than the PM wave. And it's not just because of wind speed, it's wind direction. And if you want to know why, fire up Google.
Yeah, come join the Discord. All right, fair enough. We can talk about this offline. I mean, so yeah, because Corey plays good in the wind too. That's the thing.
Yeah, and he just played really well on a firm Bay Hill. It's going to be probably similar agronomic conditions. Yeah, I definitely can get back.
You know what?
This week.
Let me see what happened, Rockcast. I might just get back in right now.
How about this? How about I keep you apprised on the weather?
Okay.
And because I am very interested and I still have an open slot on my betting card. So we can make a suicide pact that if I jump, you jump. Okay.
Yeah. Love it. Let's go.
Okay.
Always.
All right. I will keep you apprised on the weather. The other guy I'm looking to fit on here because where the numbers are and the guys I bet this would not fit, but I got a discount on some of the AM guys. I was able to get them before they moved. Sepp Straka also is somebody I'm looking at this week. Yeah, just fits a lot I'm looking for as far as like good putter, especially on the overseas golf course earlier. Great iron play, good floor. Does not have a very good track record in Innisbrook, but it's only 2 tournaments. And I think a couple of the ones he was playing
He's so good from 200 plus. He's so good.
Yeah, and he just wasn't playing all that great heading in. Like I think 2019 when he just wasn't Sepp Straka, I think maybe last year he had a good finish at Players, but just around there wasn't all that great. I'm just not all that concerned about it. I'm more concerned about just current form coming in.
Dude, his approach play is so nice right now.
It really is.
So nice.
I have him as the 3rd best player over 150 in this field. And that includes Xander, who is that's a fraudulent number over last year.
Yeah, it's a fake number. Fugazi.
Yeah. Fugazi. So it's Sepp, considering him. You know, Tom Kim as well as he's due for one of those spike finishes. You see his results the last year. Yeah, it's crazy. Like
I used to root for him. Watching him on TGL is just really soured me on him for some reason.
Yeah, he's kind of a jerk.
He's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, so like
I try to pass it off that he's only 22, but
yeah. So Cam, look at his recent. Like there are a lot of peak spike weeks and just a lot of junk, and it's mostly the putter lately. That's discouraging because generally guys who are starting to peak with their putting heading into the Valspar tend to have been winning this event. But the iron play is really good. Yeah. So, but look at like those. I'll look at that volatility. 7th at Pebble, 2nd at Hero, 2nd at that Korean tournament, top 10 at Le Golf National, 2nd at Travelers.
I don't know, man.
You know, and he's never played it before, so we don't know if he actually.
It is off the last 2 tournaments is off the tees, but shit too.
Yeah, but I'm really de-emphasizing that this week.
Man, those irons. I need to deep dive those. How the fuck did he almost get 10 on approach at Sawgrass?
I mean, he had a good ball striking week. He's been hitting it pretty good the last year or so. Like look at all those consistent iron numbers for him. It's been good. It's been the putter that's been getting in the way. But when he has a peak putting week, he's been doing pretty well. So
yeah, I don't hate it.
I don't hate that. I mean,
I'd much rather bet Sepp though. Like I'd much rather bet Sepp.
Yeah, but that's it. Those are the guys at the top of the board. Actually, no, I take that back. I did bet somebody. It was at 45, and now he's at 28. When I got this guy, I thought 45 on Michael Kim was a good number, just considering. Look, last week. Yeah, look, last week bad result, but just look overall the last month and a half, great form coming in. Iron play's been really good. The putter's been heating up a little bit. Did well at Bay Hill, firm conditions. We're going to have same agronomy kind of happening this week. I like that. Good around the green as well now, if that's going to come in handy, I think, in the windy conditions. So I thought 45 to 1 on Michael Kim was good. You get the best price available on him right now would be like 33 to 1 based on the books I have.
Dude, Hard Rock's still hanging a fucking 40.
Okay, well, there you go.
Hard Rock doesn't move. Like when Baroff was when we were talking to the Discord, like they didn't move at all until he was started to do it. And then I started to hammer fucking top 20s and random fucking like long shot winners that aren't even going to be on my official card because they're so fucking disgusting. Like then they started to move. I was like, it has to be just me and him moving it because no one else is betting this shit.
Okay. Can you pull up the comment from Could Be Travis right now, by the way? I want to talk about something.
Maybe man. Talk him through this.
Okay. So let's say, for example, hold on. Let's say you are a $50 unit bettor. Okay. And let's say you're trying to win an outright to win 10x net. So basically $50 win 500. Okay. Give or take. So let's say at 45 to 1. Okay. You would be spending $11. It's 0.22 units. If you at 35 to 1, you would be spending $10.
Right.
Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry. That's math is wrong. You'd be spending $14. It's 0.29 units. You are literally just spending 0.07 units more. Yeah. It's not that material, man.
Yeah. Could be Travis. Don't let the CLV fucking police get you off a bet, shame anything. Listen, the goal is to get the outright bet. Listen, no one, if you hit a 35 to 1, no one's gonna be like, you fucking idiot, you gotta got it 45 to 1. They're gonna be like, hey, congratulations, you just hit a fucking 35 to 1 winner. Right. Yeah. Now listen, sometimes it gets silly, like when it moves a ton. But unless you're a professional fucking bettor where your life depends on it, and a nickel here and a dime there, and that shit makes sense. Then it makes sense where you're grinding edges, right? If you're just betting outright golf, first of all, it's the most difficult thing to fucking bet on. It really is. It's fucking insane. Like when we hit winners, like we should celebrate more than we do, right? But we're degenerates and we do it every week. So, I just think, don't sweat that shit, man. Listen, if you like the golfer, bet the number you have available. Like me, I'm in Florida, dude. I got Hard Rock. Hard Rock fucking sucks. The Seminoles are the biggest criminal mafia family in the United States left, based on the fucking lines they hang every week. So I'm at mercy to what they do, unless I want to go offshore or text my buddies up north, and like that's a pain in my dick. So I just take the bad number. I don't give a shit. I just change my betting card for it, right? So maybe if you get them at 40, if you get them at 35 versus 45, maybe you don't play one more 75 to 1 loser who's not going to fucking win anyway.
Yeah, I mean, so the only time it really matters is if you see like a Sepp Straka or Aaron Rye last week where they start for like 70 to 1, and they get steamed up to like 30-1. Like
Yeah,
then
you
at
don't bet
that,
that.
then
you
at that
shove it in your-
point,
yeah,
like 0.2 units for an outright card doesn't sound like a lot. It actually is significant. Like then, like as Dave mentioned in here, like then you can't like fit more guys on your card. Like 0.07 units though, like yeah, you're really sacrificing like 100-1 guy, 90-1 guy. Like
Yeah.
it's, and sometimes it might help you at that point. So don't be so like, actually, how about this? Do the math first on if like you miss a number to see if it makes a material difference. And more often than not, it usually is not going to matter all that much. And so, you know, there just are special cases, like I just mentioned, like where it's a dramatic shift. But people really do get caught up with the number. It's not, especially if you are somebody that you have a target unit, like 10 units, 8 units, 12 units, like the unit difference in little variations of pricing, it's not all that much at the end of the day.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly right.
So, all right. But that's at the top of the board for guys I'm looking for. I mean, just to recap, I bet Michael Kim at 45. The best available is 33. I could bet Sepp. I could bet Corey Connors if the weather gets a little better. Maybe Tom Kim. I don't know. He's been.
I don't
so
even know
bad.
if the weather needs to get better. I think I'm just gonna go back to my guns. But the only problem is that one fucking mush has him on his CAD, and you know how I feel about that.
Hey, mushes win sometime.
Yeah, I know, but this guy's like an extra
Sure.
douchey mush.
All right, we're at
all right,
46
so real quick,
minutes.
I know. So let me just get quick thoughts from you on some of these up top guys. Like,
Okay.
doesn't have to be a long diatribe. I know we go fucking super long. All right, Burns. What do you think? I mean, out.
No, he's a mess.
Okay, great.
He's a mess.
Adam Scott broken.
Yeah,
right?
why is he here? Is it only because he doesn't want to go like 3 weeks before the Masters?
Yes, I guess. I can't. I don't understand it either.
Yeah, I mean, like he looks good in the models because I think his long-term like iron numbers look all right, but I mean, he's been so uninspiring this year.
Yeah,
like his results. T15 at Century, which really is that's nothing to write home about. T37 Dubai, T22 Pebble, T37 Genesis, T36 API. Cut the players.
Yeah. So Dave, you say Adam Scott was striping. Listen, I fell into that trap too. He always looks good in the practice rounds. I wasted so much money after watching his greens routine on the Masters last year. I've wasted way too much money on Adam Scott. When the money's on the table, he doesn't putt. And yeah, he's not there when the competition's there. I don't care if it's a good wave or not. There will be zero Adam Scott I have exposure to.
All right, I'm going to say something that might make some upset some people as far as like the practice round like reporting. How many holes did you watch of Adam Scott today? Right. Did you follow around his entire round? Was it just a stripe show the entire round, or did you see like maybe 2 holes?
Yeah, and Dave, he's not attacking you. He's just saying like you got to put it in context, right?
This is a general take on how sometimes we might be led astray based on a small sample size of a practice round for a player. That's it.
And listen, I'm Mr. Small Sample Size. I am Mr. Small Sample Size, and even I am like, all right, like I don't know, we'll see. This is from a stick in my grandma's saw for 3 minutes. Love it. Dave cracks me the fuck up. He's a funny ass dude.
All right, let's move on from this range.
All right, so let's go. What we got? 30 to 30 with 30 to 75.
Like 40 to 75. Yeah, whatever.
Fine.
All right. Who are some guys you bet in this range? Go.
I think the only one I bet was the one we talked about, Bridgman.
Okay, our boy
Bridgman.
Okay.
Our boy Bridgman. This guy has been haunting my dreams because I didn't play him in DFS when I should have because he popped. He was like 31st in your bottle. I kept looking at him. I was like, it makes sense to me to play him, but it's Jacob fucking Bridgman. Why? Like, and of course, I'm like gun shy because I'm like, all right, I got lucky with Highsmith, thinking the same way. Like, I'm not going to get lucky again. You know what I mean? And plays pretty good in the wins. Fucking, I don't know, man. Like, I think Bridgman, you got him at 80. I got him at 75. I was stoked that I was even within 10 points of you.
Oh, bad CLV, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah, I mean, look, he's doing everything well. He's in the good wave. I don't know why we wouldn't want to play Bridgman at fucking 75 or 80 to 1.
Yeah, Bridgman reminds me a lot of what Taylor Moore was doing heading into Valspar a couple years ago, where irons were starting to trend up, putting was starting to trend up, kind of similar profiles too. Not the most accurate guy, but that's kind of like what I'm looking for. I mean, like Burns is one here, Molnai's one here. It's just like Cam Young almost won here last year. Like it's just a different animal off the tee. It's a different game. So, but has been really solid on the floor to swing so far.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like Bridgman this week.
Yeah, I like Bridgman as well a lot.
Yeah, so the best number you can get right now in Bridgman is I think 60-1. Like, again,
shit, look at me. I got CLV for one, Steve. I never get CLV.
Yeah,
ever. That means this bet is doomed.
Again, I mean, depending on what your unit sizes you want to bet, the difference between 60 and 80 is not all that much, not all that significant. Yeah. So it just looks a little different on your betting card. So if you can still fit it, you're totally fine there. So yeah, all right. So we're both on Bridgman.
Yeah, both on Bridgman. So I didn't really like a ton of guys in here. I was thinking about Jaeger, but I feel like I've been burned by him too much.
Okay, I bet Jaeger. Can I sell you on Jaeger?
Okay, talk to me on Jaeger.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, talk to me.
Listen, like if the theme of the week is just who has demonstrated spike iron weeks and spike putting weeks, I mean, Jaeger has demonstrated that multiple times over this year. He has been in contention a lot. He was surprisingly really good in Sawgrass. Like, of course, I would not expect to do very well.
Burned me at API.
And some of these other like shorter plotter courses, he actually has some good results.
How do you he lost 4.5 strokes off the tee and still T20 that fucking the players?
I know, it's pretty crazy. So, but this is a different animal this week as far as off the tee.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with off the tees at the players too. It could be one hole that fucking makes you lose 3 fucking strokes gained.
Well, that's an entire tournament, so I don't think that's really gonna, do it for you there. But
shut up, Steve. Let my math do the thing.
That's true. But I mean, he does have some decent results at some plotter courses, like top 20 Harbor Town. He's got, I think, a decent finish at like Travelers. There's a couple of Southwind also. He's got like a relatively okay finish there in his past. So there are examples of ones where like a Jaeger, and those are all like when he
25 at Sanderson.
The big. Yeah, this was post distance gains Jaeger, so it's the same profile at that point.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I take a guy like Steven Jaeger who can do kind of a lot like what Cam Young or Burns did coming into here and do a similar profile, similar impression of him?
I like it. I like that a lot. Okay, so you're on Jaeger. I'm going to be on Jaeger.
I am on Jaeger. And he is in the AM. So I got him at 65. The best you can get on him right now would be 60. Not bad. I'm bet online.
I'll do a 60.
Okay.
Right now.
There you go.
I got him at 55. I got him at 55 on Hard Rock. I am betting right now.
Okay. And I bet 2 other guys.
Oh no, that's first round leader. Shit. I already bet him first round leader. Fuck.
Okay.
Sorry.
I bet 2 other guys over 100 to 1. They are no longer there. One of them I would still probably entertain betting. The other one, definitely not.
You got.
For whatever reason, I caught a stale number on Nikolai Højgaard at 125 to 1.
Well, I'm done.
I'm betting on just talent alone. This could go completely horrible, but it's an outright bet. It's volatile. It's 125 to 1. The irons and putting has been spiking earlier this year. Bad performance at Sawgrass, but overall, I've seen some decent showings. I don't know if he's a course fit. He probably is not a course fit here. I'm just betting I'm just pure talent for that guy. So the 125 to 1. I also did the 125 to 1 on Rico Hoy.
Okay, I did too.
Okay, so I was still able to wait all that time, and I didn't get the 150, but I was able to get the 125. He is down though to like.
Yeah, he got
where is he? It's like
he's 80. He's at 80.
Insultingly low. He's 80. 65 to 1 on one of these books.
Unreal. So I know I've talked to you about this guy, and I can't get it out of my head. So I think the Discord pushed me to him because when he lost to Harry Hall in that fucking 9,000 guy playoff or whatever, this asshole airmailed the green so fucking bad that I was like, I am never putting a cent on this guy. But I think I've finally been browbeat into Rico and Huck Tui, and look, his not like what he's doing coming in is good. He just can't putt. Like, holy fuck, dude. You lose almost 8 strokes putting and still fucking coming top side of the top 40, almost top 25 at Puerto Rico with losing 7 strokes putting. 7 strokes putting. That's me. That is terrible.
Yeah. So here's what you're banking on with Rico Hoy. You are hoping for the Paul Casey model at this point, where just pure ball striker, and then all of a sudden he turns around. The slight problem with that is Paul Casey actually showed a little putting shortly before Valspar, before he came in. It wasn't just like completely cold and then out of nowhere it came. So that's difficult. You're also banking on during his run last year, he was actually putting pretty well. So that needs to turn around quick at this place. If you want to bank on ball striking,
101 ball striker, like shit field, like who fucking knows? Like,
yeah. But like he lost on overseed. It's only two rounds. We lost 7 strokes putting at Amex. He lost 4.6 putting on overseed at Phoenix.
Yeah, not great, Bob.
He lost 6.8 putting at Players on overseed. Like that's not good.
That's a lot. No, it's not great. But whatever. He's 100 something to 1. So don't bet him at 60 or whatever the fuck it is. Don't bet Rico at 60.
Yeah, I don't think so. But if you're able to get the 100 to 1 on him, sure, I'll join along. Yeah, some other guys caught in the bad wave that are
wait, time out. Let me ask you about Vegas. I'm sure you have a longer number than me, but Vegas was 100 to 1 to me. He's in a good wave. He doesn't have a great history here, but his long irons are fucking money, and he's another guy who can spike putt and win. And he's long enough off the box where I don't worry about him, even though he's my age. Like, I think Vegas here in this field, I feel like 100 was a fucking great number.
Yeah, I mean, I think on Data Golf, the top comp course was TBC Twin Cities. Yeah. So that's a feather in your cap right there.
Except it's Data Golf telling us that, and you know how I feel about that.
No,
I know. I'm just teasing.
No, I love the tools on Data Golf. The predictions, I think, get a little too far from reality sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no such thing as a like EV bet for that. But he plays really good in the wind in my brain. Like in my head, like I can picture him playing really good in the wind, and it's the putting. I mean, he doesn't have the putter. And if he gets that putter right, I mean, even last week at the Players, he gained on approach. Tee to green was fine. So if you go back to, if he can get to like the Century where he's almost like an even net neutral putter, like we're in business.
Okay. All right. Some other guys who are caught in the PM wave in this range that I kind of like. I mean, Lucas Glover, Mr. Tip Charts, 70 to 1.
By the way, he's way skinnier in person than you would think, seeing him on fucking TV.
Is he as skinny as his broom putter? Can he hide behind it?
It's close. Like I was surprised how skinny he was.
It's not.
And he hit a, no, it's not close, but he hit a terrible shot on 12 on Thursday, and he made the most old man I fucked up face. I audibly laughed at the face he made. But yeah, Glover's good. I like Glover playing great.
Alex Smalley, from the standpoint of the weird Sanderson comp to this place, and he's been.
Are we talking outright win or top 20?
Outright win.
Oh, okay.
Or positional. I mean, he's PM wave, so I don't know if I want to bet positional on it, but
he could be in the most pristine conditions ever. Alex Smalley on a Sunday when you have money on him has to be one of the worst feelings in the world.
I mean, didn't we feel that way about Russell Henley?
That's fair. That's fair.
And
here's the deal. I'm gonna give this Russell Henley.
Can confirm that was still a really bad feeling. Still having him, even though he won.
Oh, you had Russell Henley? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just want to hop in to claim credit? He had Russell Henley.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cam.
Fucking Christ.
All right.
But you know, I'm gonna give like a moratorium. I'll let this Russell Henley's a degenerate, like a constant loser, be thrown in my face for other losers for another month, and then the Russell Henley argument is going to be just buried. Like, okay. I'm not.
So Smalley hit his irons. He had 2 bad performances in a row, despite good finishes with the irons. Came back last week and gained. Showing some spike iron.
What did he do on Sunday? Look,
I mean, Sunday
well,
was
even on
terrible.
Sunday, he wasn't even in contention. And, he's so bad on Sunday. You can't bet this guy outright. You can't.
Okay, we just said the same thing about Russell Henley. Who is to say Tommy Fleetwood doesn't hand him a win on Sunday?
I had Russell Henley when he lost fucking to Joe Highsmith. So I bet losers. But I'm telling you,
what I'm saying is this is not like 30-1 Alex Smalley. This is now 70-1
All
Alex
right.
Smalley.
All
Like,
right.
and that's a range where I'm like, okay, like I can entertain a loser like that 80-1, 70-1 at that point.
Maybe I'm just
So
not a
that's-
Smalley guy.
So that's somebody potentially in the mix there. Ben Griffin, you can get an 80-1 right now. That seems a
Okay.
little extreme. I know it's the PM wave, but
Well, still,
actually you can get a 90-1 on Ben Griffin right now.
how many weeks in a row this cat played though?
It's a lot, but maybe he's
10
the
weeks
Iron
at this
Man.
point.
I mean, it does seem like maybe
He doesn't want to go back to mortgages with the rates the way they are.
He might be losing some steam. T45 at Bay Hill cut last week. The irons are trending down, but 90-1 on a guy that was in contention at 2 straight tournaments. It's not awful. Like I can consider that for 90-1.
Yeah.
Max McGreevy, who I really like, caught in the bat in the poor wave, but I think his profile is really good as far as irons really trending up, and he's been putting well. He's not very good around the green. I think that's a problem. Bud Cauley, same thing. Ryan Gerard.
Do you think it's too much for Cauley after being like in contention and like the guy who hasn't been in contention and like playing that much? Do you think it's? I mean, I imagine that's a mental.
It could.
stress, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely could. He's 100-1 right now.
Yeah,
you can
Yeah,
get
sure.
him. Ryan Gerard. I mean, he continues to shoot himself in the foot. Like he makes these little runs.
I
And then
know
just
it's nuts.
craps down his leg for like 3
Yeah.
holes. Like he was my gummy play last week, and he was solidly inside the top 20 for a while, and then completely crapped the bed on Sunday. I was glad I didn't bet a top 40 on him because he finished T42, so that would have been a no bet there. But like, guys, just playing solid golf and kind of showing some good form. Irons look good. The putting looks good.
Yeah,
That could be a play. Adam Shank, potentially.
Shank.
I know it's ugly, but now we're getting to kind of an ugly range where putters been okay last 4 tournaments. Irons have been okay the last 4 tournaments. He's obviously done pretty well here. He has that good finish in Colonial, that little crossover there. I
Yeah.
don't mind that.
What about? Oh, we're not there yet, so we'll keep going.
Okay.
My guys.
I mean, that's really about it for me.
Okay.
After that, it got pretty ugly.
It's
Like,
all,
I know
it's all-
I know Peter Malnati won last year. If one of these guys beats me,
All right. So what do you think about local kid Jackson Suber at 250-1? Good morning wave. Great from 200 plus. Small sample size. I'm aware. Pretty good off the tee. Big birdie rate.
yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, 250.
Iron numbers look really good. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Okay.
Fine.
And
All right,
local
I'll
kid.
I'll highlight that one.
Okay. And then we already talked about Hui. That's the other gross guy, I bet. So yeah, no, we're
Yeah.
good. That was it. Suber at 250-1.
As I'm running down this list, remember how bad Mackenzie Hughes boned us last year?
Yeah, I'm very well aware. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Sucks.
Another Sanderson crossover, by the way. Weird Sanderson crossover, Mackenzie Hughes.
Am I gonna have to pull that tonight and just fucking take a look?
I
All
kind of
right.
did.
Cameron Dave wants us to talk about fucking Webb Simpson. Dave,
Why? Why?
Stop it. I know you saw him golf today. We have all watched him golf over how many years now? He fucking stinks. Stinks. Mac Hughes is awful. Webb Simpson is awful. Webb Simpson stinks. Just let it go. Let it go.
That wasn't
the end of the
touting
day.
Mac Hughes. We were just reminiscing about a bad beat we had last year. We both
We had a terrible
Mac
bet on a
Hughes.
bad golfer. Exactly.
Yeah, easy, buddy. Okay, down, boy. So
Fuck. Webb
Um,
Simpson. Jesus fucking Christ.
that's really about it. I like the Jackson Super shot out there. I can get behind that. Is Doug Gim finally going to start putting? At some point.
But it is a good bounce back spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Everybody
in a
was
bad
on.
way,
He
but
was,
like
he was chalk. He was chalk last week though. That's I like flop lag spot. Like I don't hate it.
yeah, like
Just
if you
Mike
like
Kim.
Rico, if you like Rico Hoy, why don't you like Doug Gim? Literally the same player.
Because I have more scar tissue with fucking Doug Gim. I've lost money on Doug Gim. I haven't lost
Okay.
I haven't lost a single fucking penny on Rico Hoey.
Oh,
Not
I
a penny.
have. I did it at Amex.
Yeah.
I bet Rico at like 200 to 1 or something.
Yeah.
And I think
I
he was
wasn't on
36
him.
hole leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't on him that week. He airmailed the green when everybody else was on him. And I was like, oh, I had like FOMO. So get the fuck out of here. And then I saw him airmail that green. I was like, nope, never betting this guy.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Rico
fucking a year
Hoy
later.
was my first dabble with Rico Hoy at Amex. And I'm like, I think I'm good on this guy. That was not a fun weekend. That wasn't. So. All right.
All right. Yeah, I guess for the full batting card, do what you're supposed to do and be smart and become an insider, man. Come join the network. Get in the Discord. Listen, as an old who doesn't like internet stuff, the Discord is like my happy place. A bunch of degenerates, love golf, sweat it, great information. Listen, if you're spending money on DFS and you're betting guys 120 to 1, spend the money and come talk to us. It's a fucking great place to be. I promise you, you won't regret it. Yeah, and I guess we'll release the full betting cards on there, and we'll be back on Sunday night. What the hell is next week?
Next week, the Houston Open. We're not done, by the way. That's the end of the golf talk.
Oh, no, I'm done. You can bring Cam.
You're done?
Okay.
All right. Cam and I can just nerd out to college
you guys can nerd out to college basketball.
Okay.
I'll go throw on any other show. I'll probably go finish watching this Edmonton Utah game versus fucking college basketball. Anyway, boys, break the books. Let's have a great fucking week. You and Cam have fun talking about awful sport of college basketball. Goodbye.
Okay. All right. Capper, you are gone. Cam, hi, buddy. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm sweating this first half under.
How's it looking?
It's looking all right. Scoring drought graphic popped up, so that's always a good sign.
That is, what was the total for the first half?
So the total's 67, and they are at 57 right now with like less than 2 minutes left, I think.
That's dicey. That's a couple threes away from making uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens
50, there. 57, 2 minutes left.
Okay. All right.
Be a sweat.
So you are noted Aggie alumni, Texas A&M. Buzz Williams, great coach. I have a lot of respect for him. Give us the State of the Union on number 4 seed, Texas A&M, coming to this tournament. How you feeling about them this tournament?
Expectations could not be any lower.
Interesting. Why is that?
Lower. And the reason is I've never liked Buzz. Like I don't really like him at all. I don't think he's going to get us to the Final Four ever. I think that our guys, we've in the last 4 years, at least since he's been here, we haven't been good at free throw shooting like that we've literally lost tournament games because of our free throw shooting. And right now the vibes are just terrible, like just in baseball and basketball. It's awful. My expectations cannot be lower. I'm not picking them to go past the second round for sure. But that being said, I did hear from my coworkers today that Yale is the most picked upset right now, which makes me feel great. So I think there's a chance we get past Yale. I don't think there's a chance we get past the second round for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why people would pick Yale from the standpoint of really all Texas A&M does is they offensive rebound and they turn you over. They block shots. They're pretty good in the paint. Like that's basically their profile. Yeah, I mean,
they've always been good on defense.
You can shoot on them, and they allow a high volume of 3-point shots. Like that's always a dangerous combination for a really good 3-point shooting team like Yale, where you're allowing guys to shoot a lot of threes. You know, that's kind of out of your control. So I think with Yale, though, it's kind of like that blueprint where it's maybe like 6-7 years ago, they beat Baylor the first round, and it was a matchup of Yale. It's a typical Yale team, like doesn't turn the ball over. They don't offensive rebound a lot, but they defensive rebound pretty well. They prevent a lot of offensive rebounds from the opponent. Good shooting team, not a high volume 3-point shooting, but they're a good shooting team. And what ended up happening was they shut out Baylor, who was one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the country that year, and just destroyed them on the defensive end. So is that going to happen again? I think with Yale, though, the problem with them is like a lot of their opponents this year, and I think this is why their offensive rebounding allowed percentage is so low. It's because nobody in the Ivy League actually crashes the board. Yeah, it's very manufactured. So like the best offensive rebounding percentage team they played here was Quinnipiac at 73rd. This is by far the best team. So like they haven't really been tested in this aspect. So that and like the real opponents they face this year. I mean, Purdue, they kept it close. Minnesota lost by 3. But like, other than that, though, it's a lot of feasting on not very highly rated teams. So
yeah,
I think it'd be fine for the first round. Who's in their pod? Is it Michigan?
We're in the top quadrant, which I think is the East
or the South.
I've looked at it like twice, the whole bracket, something like that.
I
do know where.
Michigan.
I think it's Auburn.
Yeah, so you got Michigan with UC San Diego. Is the other one, and UC San Diego is like highly rated in the predictive models, like pretty good. So you could this could be a surprise Sweet 16 run if San Diego upsets Michigan. So
yeah. I mean, we did get Houston last year, which was really unfortunate, and we should have won that game. I think that was the game where we ended up losing in the last couple minutes, and we missed like 13 free throws or something like that. And like we should have beaten a team that went pretty far. That being said, I think this is Houston's year. I think this. You think
it's Houston's year? Okay.
Yeah. I think this is it. No one's really. They're kind of flying under the radar, and because they've got man, what's his name? I can't remember his name now, but he's probably not going to play the first round. He'll probably play the second round, but he's still a little bit questionable. I can't think of his name right now, but
okay,
it was the same story last year, and they had one of the best teams in the nation, and they are in the trapezoid of excellence, so they can win it all, and they have I bet them at plus 650, and that's pretty much the only bet I'm going to make, and yeah,
okay. I don't know who I'm going to bet to win overall. I just looking at this field, I'm a big KenPom guy. I mean, that probably doesn't surprise anybody here. I have tracked historical KenPom numbers, and what I do notice is the top like 4 or 5 seeds in this tournament are significantly stronger in efficiency ratings than like historic. Like the 1 seeds have averaged since 2002, like an average efficiency margin of like 28. And all these guys are like, they're all 35 plus.
I heard this stat.
Yeah, which is like
UConn
really
last
high.
year was way up there, and usually there's only one team, and this year all 4 1 seeds.
Yeah, I mean, so that's not necessarily like it means it's going to play out this way, but I mean, my theory is with how prevalent NIL is, I think the gap between the really top tier programs with the big NIL programs is just separating themselves from everybody else. And I think we're starting to see why like the top 20, 25 teams in this tournament are just so much better in the predictive models than everybody else. Like I was trying to look for 12, 13, 14 seeds that might be a little stronger than average. I couldn't find many. And really like even like the 8 and 9 seeds are like way historically stronger. So,
I could see it the other way too, though. Like it to that point, like there's got to be some big donors at these small schools that can pay a guy that would normally go to a Florida, an Auburn, a Tennessee, a Duke, Kentucky, a blue blood, and steal them away and end up having a breakout guy at one of these mid majors. So
Yeah, but the
I would
problem
think
with that,
way.
though,
Yeah, the stats aren't showing that, is what you're saying.
the problem with that, though, is these are basically turned into farm teams at this point, where all these top programs are basically just picking from the mid-play majors. Like even like a school like my school, Syracuse, now with a very
I see what
weak
you're
NIL
saying.
program, like just getting left behind. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
see
I haven't made an official pick for the tournament yet. I think it's gonna be kind of chalky though. The only thing I do know is just fade Rick Barnes whenever possible. He has proven time and time again in the NCAA tournament that he will just throw up all over himself. So fade him. That's really my only advice. Otherwise, I mean, I know Auburn's really scuffling lately. I kind of like them. I like their predictive metrics, but they've been bad. So I don't know. But no, I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask you about A&M. That's really all I wanted to ask you about.
I really I'm coming back around on them after hearing that the public is like, I mean, the vast majority of people are picking Yale to upset us.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to be wrong, and we might win this game. But I did have someone I've had a couple people actually DM me on Twitter and ask what I think about the Aggies. And yeah, my take is out on Buzz Williams. If we do end up losing to Yale, I hope he's gone. We can restart. And Wade Taylor, very good person from what I understand too. I like the team. I just don't think they're disciplined enough. Like we don't have that Final Four mentality, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, one other team that kind of catches my eye too, like I don't know how they're probably very chalky because they're just in New York, but St. John's defensively can break stuff.
Yeah, I think they're kind of a sharp pick, honestly.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, well, like St. John's, like what the heck? Who is this? Why are they a 2 seed? And they're not like a big name, I guess, anymore. But I think, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people like St. John's too. So
yeah, it's kind of like in golf where you want ceiling, like with outrights.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of ceiling characteristics for St. John's, like offensive rebounding percentage, turnover percentage, 2-point field goal defense, blocks, like just ways that they can break games defensively.
Isn't Rick Pitino the coach there now?
And Rick Pitino's the coach. I also like Kaderi Richmond was the former Syracuse guy who we never should have let leave the program. He's their point guard. He's pretty good. I've always had a soft spot for him. So that could be another guy, another team maybe on the radar. I hate Rick Pitino just based on my Syracuse roots, but that's not they look weaker in the predictive models than most 2 seeds do, but they have a lot of characteristics to break a bracket. So, all right, that's all I got. I just wanted to ask about a couple things. Yeah.
Sign up at InsideSportsNetwork.com. We just posted a full March Madness episode with Rishi and Joey, and the March Madness chat has been blowing up, and there's been a lot of good stuff in there too. So go check that out. First half unders 0-2. They hit.
Oh, it didn't come through.
They hit 3 threes there at the end and like finished on one. And
just like I said, I should have live bet the over at that point.
Yeah. It was but
it's pretty devastating.
It's all right. I think I'm still gonna do it. Screw it. Why not? And
it's a good sweat.
It is always really fun. Like regardless, just hoping for bricks. It's really fun. So
yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
All right. We will be back on Sunday for the Houston Open preview as regular schedule programming. And with that, good luck betting the Valspar, and we'll see you on Sunday.